Hello again, whiskey friends. Welcome back to the Whiskey Riff Lounge. My name is Kelsey. Today we're going to do a battle of ryes, two 10-year ryes to be exact. This lovely lady in her fishnet stocking, the Michter's 10-year 2023 straight rye, versus this very nice bottle, Parker's Heritage. There we go. If I can get it. There we go. 10-year rye. So a couple of 10-year ryes that we're going to be doing today. So let's get right into it and look forward to hanging out with you. All right, guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing some ryes. We're going to be doing Parker's first. Price on this one is about $185. Here we go. I'll have to hold it this way. $185, 128.8 proof, 10 years old. Versus the Michter's. This one is 10 years as well. Price was $165, proof 96, and age is 10 years old as well. So right off the bat, I will tell you guys that my rye profile is a little bit different than people who traditionally like ryes. If you're a purist, just keep in mind that my profile for my palate is a little bit different. I like sweeter ryes. I don't like a lot of floral. I don't like a lot of mint. So I'm kind of a barely legal type of rye guy. So keep that in mind as we go through this. My palate is probably different than yours if you like ryes. So let's get into that and let's see how we stacked up. Let's go into the nose on it first. Now we'll say this one is a little bit more rye forward. It's not super minty or floral. It does have a little bit of floral notes to it. But on the nose, it's very pleasant. Even at that proof point, there's still not a lot of ethanol coming off of that. Let's go into the palate and see how it's stacked up. Okay. So the peanut, which is weird for a rye, the peanut comes through very well. Up front with the sweet, it's more of a honey roasted peanut versus an actual just dry roasted peanut. Then the proof comes in, and then the rye comes in, and then the oak comes in. So the mid to back of the palate, like the back part of the mid palate into the palate, the finish, is where this thing shines. The finish on this thing goes on forever. Super enjoyable on the finish. Let's go over to the Michter's. I probably should have done these in opposite orders, but let's go over to the Michter's and let's see how it scored out on the nose and the front mid. Dude, this is all sweet up front. I mean, on the nose, it's caramel. I said green caramel apples. You get the oak coming through just a little bit on the nose. It's pleasant. It's real sweet as well. Let's go into the palate. That's just really good. Like the mouth, the flavor experience up front is where this shines. I mean, it's sweet up front. It's enjoyable. You get a little bit of floral notes in the mid palate to keep it interesting. And then the oak comes in towards the end of it, obviously. And then it doesn't obviously have as long of a finish as the Parker's does, but man, it still has a lot of flavor for a 96 proof whiskey. So the debate I was having in my mind going back and forth, well, how is it going to stand up to a barrel proof versus a 96 proof? Well, I can tell you by the Michter's 2023 bourbon that is possible, because the Michter's 23 bourbon stood up to a lot of high proof bourbons, but still had viscosity and flavor like nobody's business. So I will say that I tend to like Michter's rye products much better than their bourbons. And this one, Parker's, is coming out of Heaven Hill. So there's that peanut flavor that comes off of there. That if you like that, I'm not a huge fan of it. That's why I'm not a huge fan of Beam. But also, this is weird to get a peanut note on a rye, but it's just my opinion. That's just me. So let's go over to the Parkers again and see how it stacked up on the overall score. It was a 78, and then Michter's on the final product there. You had, I'll break down these experiences in just a second, guys. 80. So to me, the Michter's have won out for me simply due to the fact of I enjoy that profile more. So that's why I said that what I said on the disclaimer up front is that if you like Heaven Hill profile and you like more of that peanut, honey roasted peanut flavor, then obviously the Parker is going to be best for you. Now, for me, are either one of these worth a retail or the secondary price? No, in my opinion, absolutely not. Neither one. This year's bourbon was, but this year's rye was not. I would say if you could find it for retail, yeah, even that's pushing it for me. $165. I would get it, especially if you like sweeter ryes. But I will tell you, if I did these blind, and I may do this blind with Michter's straight rye versus Michter's 10-year rye, I'm not sure that the Michter's 10-year would win. I know the Michter's toasted would kill this. So that's just a preference thing. So let's go back a little bit, one slide here, and go over some flavor scores. So this one scored 82.5, 78, and 80. Now on the value score, guys, obviously these probably should have been a little bit lower, to be honest with you. But to be fair, I did get them at retail. So I think for the overall value, it's pushing it a little bit, but that's where the Michter's landed. And then on the Parkers, 80, 78, and 80. So again, I kind of scored these kind of even as far as their value scores because they're right around the same price for the retail and the secondary. So overall take on this, guys, is if you like a sweeter rye and you like a lot of flavor with that, then obviously the Michter's 10-year rye. And if you like more proof and you like a little bit more rye forward rye, the Parker's rye is definitely the way to go for you. And if you like that profile of Heaven Hill with having just a little bit of peanut, Parker's is the one for you. But however, I would say if you're going after these for secondary, try before you buy. To me, neither one of these are worth their secondary prices for me. So I think this one was right around $300 for secondary, or $325, and this was $400, $375, $400, something like that. So pretty similar on secondary pricing. But if you are looking for just a really good rye, I really prefer the Michter Straight Rye. I also prefer Old Forester 100 proof, to be honest with you. If you're going to go for like a sipper or a mixer, that's the one I would go to. Rittenhouse Rye is really good, which is from Heaven Hill as well. So just some things to throw out and keep in mind as we go through this is that proof is not always going to win out. For some people, for me, the taste won out versus the proof. Like this one had more proof and had more rye spice and whatever. But, for me, the Michter's is just a much better way to go. So with that being said, guys, we're going to get out of here. Until next time, make sure that you guys be sure to check us out every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern time. Join our Patreon, help support the channel. If you have any suggestions like on the head-to-heads or even this format, if there's something that you're not getting that you want, or if there's something else that would be more helpful for you as far as the breakdown goes, let us know in the comments. Click and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for all your help in supporting the channel. Thanks, guys.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends. and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you